It's past 8.
The Radio Whammo Breakfast.
TV on the radio
With Hamish, Coleman-Ross.
from stuff.co.nz.
Yeah, that's right. It is Hamish Coleman-Ross at stuff.co.nz. Hamish CR on Twitter as well. Back in the Kiwi studio.
Good morning, Whammo. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Bunch of great stories to talk about. First of all, the Herald, apparently. I don't know, is it libel if I say the Herald have been lying?
Well,
Allegedly.
Does that get us out of trouble?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
allegedly. The Herald published an article last week saying that Breakfast had gone down something like 180,000 viewers per week cumulative across the Monday to Friday since Paul Henry left.
Yeah.
Now, that actually didn't surprise me all that much. I went, oh, okay, well, that kind of makes sense.
A whole bunch
go
of people
figure.
threatened to do that on Facebook, didn't they?
Precisely. I went, okay, people followed through. Then we get information from TVNZ yesterday to say that no. In fact, the ratings have held steady in Paul Henry's absence.
Yeah.
And they were a little upset about it, because that kind of information is really bad when you talk about it to advertisers as well.
Yeah.
I didn't actually even think to question it.
Yeah.
I went, Nana Herald, of course you.
Makes
Why
sense.
would you lie to me?
Yeah.
Allegedly. So I just, took it as gospel. But I can see how TVNZ were very upset about this. They must be in damage control. And this week really hasn't been a great one for them either. Paul Henry's first of a two-part interview came out in New Idea, where basically he just ragged on TVNZ, said that, they supported him to the hilt, to be outrageous Paul. And then when the heat got a little bit too hot, he suddenly didn't have any friends
But
turning
it wasn't
up.
just outrageous, Paul. Apparently he was paid to be the snake
Yeah,
with the bite, with the sting in its tail.
yeah.
It's like, of all the metaphors, snake, why would you want to be a snake?
I think he would. Want to
Like
be a
a
snake.
tiger.
I don't know the guy personally, but
Tiger.
a tiger. Maybe what else could you be? What else is a predator? The hammerhead
Yeah.
shark.
Shark or something.
Dun, dun,
A snake.
dun, dun.
But a snake, no one likes snakes.
I hate
at
snakes.
all.
Do you know it's like my only phobia?
Yeah.
Like spiders, I can look at a spider and be like, oh,
I was paid to be the tarantula.
So he obviously in this article, the way that he's talked about TVNZ would prompt me to think that he's not coming back to TVNZ.
No.
Which leaves the door open. Maybe he'll go to TV3, but as we know, TV3 has already done a breakfast show, Sunrise, which they just one day decided they didn't like anymore. And to be able to set up a brand new show would be quite costly.
And the thing is, one thing that Paul Holmes taught us, and he was the fall guy really for this, because he left TVNZ and then he set up a current affairs show on Prime.
That's right.
No one watched it.
No.
Why? Because people aren't loyal to the host. They're loyal to the program, and they're loyal to their own routine as well.
Well, the ratings that TVNZ provided yesterday would actually support that statement.
Yeah.
And maybe yes, we're all still talking about Paul Henry now, but will we be in 6 months?
No.
I'm doubtful. And even when Paul Holmes came back to do Q&A on TV1, no one was really overjoyed about it, and Q&A rates mildly.
And here's the reason why. And there's maybe a bit of a controversial statement, but we don't have the quality and charisma of hosts that, say, America has. Now, when a host moves around networks in America, you do see big audience shifts.
Well, our depth of talent is shallow.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's expensive.
It's a small population. We just don't have the people.
Yeah, and it's expensive to develop that kind of talent. And why do that when I can just fire some guy when he gets to 26, knowing that he'll get a PR job, fine, and then I just hire a new graduate straight out of broadcasting school. Thanks very much, Jack Tame.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Paul Henry, a snake in a very small pool of water.
Yeah.
Put him up against any of the other people around the world, no comparison.
And I think, you're absolutely correct with that. And I think, that we've had a look at these ratings and we've had a chance to breathe and catch our breath. And probably the fact of the matter is that, yes, TV3 maybe they'll go ahead and do a breakfast show with him. But, it's not a guarantee. It's not a surefire win that he will attract the attention that he has.
Okay. Well, let's look on the radar of shows that we should be looking out for in the future, or
New shows
on the sneaky DL. The Walking Dead.
Oh my God. Okay, so for the last 3 years, it feels as though it's just been vampires. Like, get your fangs out, stick them in my neck, because I'm loving my vampires.
Yeah.
And, we saw that with the Twilight movies, a whole bunch of other crap. Then it started getting into TV, Vampire Diaries, obviously the pinnacle, and I know that you are a fan, True Blood.
True Blood, yeah.
Yeah, we love True Blood, and I'm ready for more True Blood. But I guess it was a matter of time before the public's attitude would wane and want something new and fresh and rotting and dead. And what came along is zombies.
Yeah.
Now, zombies have consistently been a safe bet for a movie. Like,
I have.
Horror films tend to make a lot of money generally because people go and they know what to expect. And over the last few years, we've seen zombie films be very, very popular in different levels. Different kind of takes on zombie films all over the place. And I guess it was a matter of time before it became a television show.
Yeah.
And AMC, the people behind Mad Men and Breaking Bad, both shows that you and I just think are the bee's knees.
Just amazing. And great to go up against HBO. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. They've created a show called The Walking Dead. And it's all about a sheriff who, much like 28 Days Later, wakes up in a hospital to find that he's been in a coma after being shot on the job. And in the meantime, there's been a zombie apocalypse.
So it's come from the Walking Dead comics, which I'm not personally familiar with, never read them.
Yes,
but
an adaptation of the comics.
There are some big fans out there of these comics.
Yeah.
Now, it is an adaptation, so it's not the true form to the comic, but the storyline is generally there.
Yeah, the storyline is generally. So the basic storyline is about a group of people, kind of a band of probably about 20 characters, I guess. Maybe there's a few more there, but yeah, I've probably counted about 20 now, characters trying to survive in a zombie holocaust, and the kind of things that they have to do, and the dynamics of that group as well, the pressures that they feel. I mean, it's that the main character, it turns out that his best mate ended up shacking up with his wife, because they all thought he was dead, and now he's back, and that hasn't come about. Shit's going to hit the fan.
And so, because zombie films sit on two sides, they're either ridiculous comedy or on the edge of your seat sort of thriller.
This is on the edge of your seat sort of stuff, and I wouldn't say that I've been really, really frightened in it, but I've got to say that I like the characters, I like the storyline so far. It's very well done. It's very well shot. I mean, it's cinematic. It's great. But they've got that girl from Prison Break. You remember the one that Schofield was supposed to be in love with?
Not a Prison Break fan.
Look, Schofield was supposed to be, I can't remember her name now. And then she was dead, and then she wasn't dead, and oh my God. Anyway, the charisma between these two was like nil.
Yeah.
And she managed to get more work. And it's not that, there's no charisma, it's just that she's a cold fish.
Okay.
And she's in the lead as like the wife.
Well,
of our hero.
Is she a zombie?
Well, she should be.
Yeah, well, she might
be.
Turn out to be a zombie.
Well, she could be a zombie because she's so bland and boring.
Do the zombies look like zombies?
They do.
Okay.
They're really good zombies.
Yeah.
Like one of the first zombies that the guy meets has got no legs and is just like dragging himself along the ground going, "Ah!" It's just fantastic. You're like, yay, zombies! So zombies are the new vampires.
Brains.
Which is quite funny because you interviewed my friend Harley on Monday.
I did.
About having $250,000 from the elevator fund to make a zombie film.
That's right, a bunch of Kiwi filmmakers from Dunedin.
And things like Walking Dead, seriously, if by the time that gets to New Zealand, this will really help this guy out. So, the zombie, The Walking Dead.
Finally, the event.
The event.
What is it?
What is it? Yes, we just had silence. That was dead air. I think I saw a guy on Twitter. I apologise if he listens, and he I can't remember the guy who tweeted it, but he goes, "Uh-oh, I think we're lost," and he was referring to the event. Now the event was all about a president, and there's a plane, and the plane's going to hit the president's house, and that's because he's about to reveal something about some people from a secret base in Alaska. And oh my God, questions. No answers.
Okay.
And I'm just going, I've seen this before, and I lost 6 years of my life to this.
Yeah.
I'm doing, God, don't do it, don't do Lost. Now, spoke to a friend in America, because I'm being good on this when I'm not jumping the broadcast. I've decided that I actually need something to watch on Tuesday nights, so the event is it. But my friend was telling me, he said, he goes, got to watch the second episode. They actually explain a hell of a lot. And I went, well, I said, I'm kind of turning off it because I don't want to have that pressure of not, having to find out answers and getting tagged along. And he goes, I don't understand. Did you only have 1 hour of it here? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, we had a 2-hour launch when it was here. Which makes me think, broadcasters, what are you doing?
Hopeless.
Why did you not play? Because I tell you what, there'll be a lot of people in my position who'll have watched that, gone, not another bloody show that just throws up questions.
Because quite often the launches in America are 2 hours.
So apparently it was supposed to be
together.
2 hours, but the minds that be, the powers that be, only made it 1 hour at TV3, whereas 2 hours would have probably, from the sounds of it, been quite good. But I'll find out next week. I'll stick with it. But basically, it revolves around a government conspiracy that affects everyday people, and they're all interlinked with different storylines.
Lost. 2.0.
Oh, sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Thanks very much, Hamish.
Not a worries.
Check Yo out on stuff.co.nz and twitter.com/HamishCR.
Word.
See you.